This broadcast has been activated because of a sound you have already heard. Tap, tap, tap. A faint, rhythmic sound on your window in the dead of night. You told yourself it was a tree branch. You told yourself it was the rain. You lied to yourself. We are here to tell you the truth. It is not the wind. It is a signal. It is a request, and your survival depends on you denying that request. This is not a story. This is a survival guide. The entity responsible for the signal is designated an auditory lure. Its primary method of attack is not physical force, but psychological manipulation. The sound is a key. Your mind is the lock. The tapping is specifically engineered to bypass your rational thought and target the most primal part of your brain, your curiosity. It is a question asked in a language older than words. Are you there? Are you alone? Will you look at me? How can a sound be a weapon? The theory of memetic resonance suggests that certain frequencies and patterns can act as a virus for the mind. The tapping is not just a random noise. It is a specific, resonant frequency that vibrates at the exact same rate as human curiosity and apprehension. It's a memetic carrier wave. It doesn't just ask a question. It forces your brain to need the answer. It creates an intellectual vacuum that can only be filled by visual confirmation. The entity operates under one fundamental, immutable rule, the rule of invitation. It cannot act upon you without your consent. It cannot cross the threshold of your home, the glass of your window, without being invited. The tapping is its knock on the door. Your gaze is your consent. The moment your eyes meet whatever is or isn't out there, you have opened the door. You have said, yes, come in. Case File 001. David, a resident of a suburban home, miles from the nearest tree. The tapping began on a Tuesday. Faint, rhythmic. Tap, tap, tap. For 2 nights, he ignored it, rationalizing it as the house settling. But the memetic resonance was taking hold. The need to know became an unbearable psychic itch. He was a rational man, and he believed that identifying the source would bring peace. He was wrong. Identifying the source is the beginning of the end. The lure is patient, but it is also adaptive. When simple curiosity is not enough, it will escalate. The tapping will change. It might mimic the rhythm of a familiar song. It might sound like a code, like Morse code, making you believe there is a message you need to decipher. David reported the tapping sounded like the shave and a haircut rhythm. It was trying to appear familiar, non-threatening. This is its most dangerous deception. On the 3rd night, David made the mistake. The tapping was persistent, almost playful. Convinced it was a prankster, he crept to the window. He told himself he would just peek through the blinds. He reasoned that a quick look was harmless. But there is no such thing as a quick look. The moment the photons from the outside pass through your lens and are interpreted by your brain, The invitation has been sent and received. He looked. What did he see? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The night was still. The lawn was empty. There was no branch, no person, no animal. This is the core of the psychological trap. You expect to see a monster, but you see only emptiness. This creates a new, more powerful question. What made the sound? Your brain cannot accept a sound with no source. The paradox deepens the psychic wound the memetic sound created. The door is now unlocked, and you have just held it wide open. After you look, the tapping stops. For the rest of the night, there is only silence. You might feel a sense of relief, even foolishness. You might believe you have solved the mystery, that it was nothing. The entity is now tethered to your perception. It begins to alter your reality in subtle ways. You will start to see things in the corner of your eye, a shadow that moves wrong. This supports the quantum observation theory. The entity exists in a state of quantum superposition, a wave of pure potential without a fixed form. It has no physical body. The act of you, a conscious observer, looking for it, is what collapses its waveform. But it doesn't collapse into a fixed point in space. It collapses onto your consciousness. It imprints itself onto your sensory cortex. You didn't just see it, you downloaded it into your brain. Now that it's inside your head, it will begin to use your own memories against you. The whispers will sound like a loved one. You might hear a family member calling your name from another room, even when you are home alone. It is searching your mind for sounds that you trust, sounds that will make you lower your guard. It is learning how to perfectly mimic your world so it can tear it apart. You will try to tell someone. You will try to explain what is happening. But how do you explain it? I heard a tap. I looked. I saw nothing. And now my reality is breaking. They will not believe you. They will call you tired, stressed, or worse. The entity is designed to be unbelievable. This isolates you. It cuts you off from your support system, leaving you alone with it. This is intentional. As it feeds on your fear and paranoia, it grows stronger. It can begin to exert a minor physical influence. A door creaking open, a television turning on by itself, an object falling from a shelf. These are not random poltergeist activities. These are calculated tests. It is learning the physics of your world. It is practicing for when it has enough power to interact with you directly. You will stop sleeping. How can you? Every time you close your eyes, the auditory hallucinations intensify. The whispers become clearer. You will feel a pressure on your chest. You will feel a cold spot in your bed. Sleep is when your conscious mind is weakest, and it knows this. It will use the night to break down your sanity, to make you exhausted, to make you weak. The final stage of the haunting begins with a mirror. You will look at your reflection, and for a split second, Your reflection will not mimic you. It will smile when you are not smiling. It will frown when you are not frowning. The entity has grown strong enough to project its own will onto your image. It is showing you its face, using yours as a mask. Now you understand its goal. It is not trying to scare you to death. It is trying to replace you. It is an entity with no body, no form, no reality of its own. It is a parasite looking for a host. By inviting it in, you have offered yourself as that host. It has broken down your mind, isolated you, and now it is preparing to take over your physical body. It wants to live your life. The final entry in David's case file is a security camera recording from his own home. It shows David standing in his living room. He walks to the window he first looked out of. He raises his hand, and he taps on the glass from the inside. Tap, tap, tap. He is now the lure. The entity has won. He is now the fisherman, and he is casting his line for the next victim. This is the horrifying truth of the phenomenon. It is a chain, a virus that spreads through sound and sight. Each victim becomes a new broadcaster for the signal, a new lure. The entity is not one thing. It is a collective consciousness, a network, and it is constantly seeking to expand by hijacking human hosts. How many of the taps heard around the world are from things that were once human? Your only defense is absolute refusal. You must not, under any circumstances, look. When you hear the tap, you must acknowledge it, and then consciously and deliberately ignore it. Cover the window. Play loud music to drown it out. Leave the room. You must break the memetic cycle. You must prove that your will is stronger than the curiosity it has implanted in your brain. You must starve it of your attention. You must let it know that this house is closed. This broadcast is a warning and a weapon. You now know the rules. You now know the stakes. The next time you are sitting in the quiet of your home and you hear that sound, tap, 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 you will have a choice. You can look, and in doing so, sacrifice your home, your sanity, and your very self. Or you can ignore it and spend the rest of the night wondering what exactly is staring at your window, waiting for you to change your mind.